Welcome to the Sales Podcast, Session 51, the Triple Double Edition. Welcome, everybody, to the 51st edition of the Sales Whisperer Podcast. I'm Wes Schaefer, the Sales Whisperer, your host. Today on my podcast are my good friends and realtors, husband and wife couple, Lisa and Goran Forss. I've known them for many years, and when I mentioned the triple-double at the beginning of the podcast, what I'm referring to is the fact that since 2011, Lisa and her husband are looking at doubling their business 3 years in a row. In 2011, they did $15 million in sales. 2012, they more than doubled to 36. Then they more than doubled again to 83 million last year. And they expect to do over 150 million in real estate sales in this little Temecula Valley of Southern California. So you want to listen closely to what they are doing, how they've grown their business, how they remain so optimistic and productive, which they'll lay out during this interview. So today's joke, obviously, is going to be related to real estate. And there was an individual who was building his house and working with the architect. The architect asked him, why did he want his front door opening right up to his dining room? And he said, so my in-laws won't have to come all the way inside. You got to love that one. If you're married, you know what I mean. Fortunately, I have good in-laws, so all is well. Now repeat the entrepreneur's creed after me. Today is my day. I work diligently towards my goals, which are bigger than me. I bite off more than I can chew, because only then will I truly know my current limits, and surpassing them becomes my new goal for today. Through education, accountability partners, and bold, decisive action, today will be better than yesterday, and tomorrow will be better yet. I'm ready to produce. If you need to produce more sales, might I be so bold as to recommend two of my resources? Not one, but two. Visit 79stories.info. That's the number 79stories.info. Get a copy of my newest book. It takes more than a big smile, a good idea, and a Twitter account to build a business that lasts. It's 79 stories that I've written over the years about selling with integrity, living abundantly, really being a successful entrepreneur. And also check out my sales training program, 30daysalesgrowth.com. Sell more, faster, at higher margin with less stress, and more fun in 30 days or less. Get on over there. Now, let's bring on my friends, Lisa and Goran Forss, to learn how they're going to do $150 million in real estate sales in 2014. Lisa and Goran Forss, welcome to the Sales Podcast. How are you?
Oh, we're doing good. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for scarfing down your lunch, pushing this back, making me wait. Who do you think you are? Like some top 200 real estate company in the world or something?
Yeah. We only wish, right?
No, we are. We are better than two.
You are?
Yeah.
No, but I'm going to just get it pushed up the lunch.
I know. Well, hey, so for those that are listening that don't know you, I've done a little intro lead in, but would you mind giving everybody a little overview of you and your business?
You want me to start?
Go, please.
Yeah, we are growing tremendously. We work on residential real estate. We are based in Temecula, California, and we are absolutely having a phenomenal time with this real estate business. 3 years ago, we did about $15 million, and then we have, over the last 3 years, more than doubled every year over year. So we went in 2011 from $15 million up to 36. And then from 36, we went up to 83 million last year. And from 83 million, we're hoping to double it one more time to 150.
Well, 150 is not double of 83. So I think you should go for 166. And you know what? I think you should round up to 170 just to really make sure you hit it.
That's just a conservative goal, 150. But
hopefully it's higher, yeah.
I recall last year we had 36, and we were saying, what is an aggressive goal? Let's go for 65, and we did 83. So now we did 83. Let's go for an aggressive goal, 120, no, 150. Well, we're probably going to do 170.
So wait a minute. We have this bad economy and all this bad news and Russia and the Ukraine and Obamacare, and you have the audacity to not only grow but to double?
Yep.
What are you thinking?
Thinking everybody can make money in this market. Doesn't matter what the market is if you do the right things.
All right. So that opens it wide up. So what are the right things? How does somebody grow? How do you grow a small business? And now, I don't know, are you even considered a small business anymore? I mean, it seems like you're getting to be a big business, or are you working smart? And
we're kind of shocked that we are from being a little small player here. Now we are recognized. We're going to be recognized by Wall Street Journal as one of the top 100 or 200 teams in the nation out of 1.3 million agents. It's fantastic. But I think what we have done, Lisa and I, we've put a lot of focus on real estate, and we are absolutely determined to make this a success. I think focus is probably the main reason we are doing it. And then with that comes other things. Then we employed some of the best systems in real estate, and we hired the right coaches. We are marketing tremendously, and we measure every marketing piece that goes out.
And that's, let me kind of interject here, is that, quite honestly, the numbers that we're all talking here are, there's a team of 20 of us. We manage 130 agents, but the numbers we're talking about are, there's a team of 20. And of those 20, we're very focused on being efficient. We're very focused on making sure the things we're doing are working. If they're not working, we change it until it is working. We don't sit on our laurels. We don't sit sedentary and just wait for things to happen. We are usually ahead of the curve. If we see something coming down the pike, we try and cut it off at the pass so that we know that we are ahead rather than behind. So that's one thing that's probably set us apart. And we have a way, like even the way we've set up our own personal team is different than most companies. We have a three-team concept. So we have a listing team, a buyer's team, and a concierge team. But because the amount of money that we spend on our marketing dollars online, when like 96% of the people look online for real estate, that's where we focused our dollars. So of that online, we needed someone to be able to respond fast. So being more efficient doesn't always mean, the system we have being efficient. Sometimes it's being efficient as a person. So we've hired 3 people that do nothing but answer the phone and answer internet leads. Our goal is that we reach, if we don't answer immediately, we respond within 5 minutes, 97% of the time. So, and we measure it. So all 3 of those people are accountable to, their daily functions, and it's split up. So everything we do has a purpose, has a system, and it's not perfect. So we're constantly changing those systems or adding them or deleting one and making it another. So we're always kind of shuffling and adjusting to make sure we're doing the right things when we should be doing them.
Right. So how long have you been in real estate?
For about 11 years.
And I started a little bit later. I joined in 2006, 7 or 07 or so.
Mm-hmm. Did you have your own job, Goran, like in corporate America while Lisa was doing real estate, or were you always involved in real estate together?
No, I was in a corporate. I was for 18 years in a Fortune 500 company, where my last position was to be responsible for international sales. And then in 2005, the corporation shut it down here on the West Coast, and I was supposed to go back then to Dallas or Stockholm, where the headquarters was. But Lisa was excited about her real estate, and I decided I'm going to retire from this and start using some of my background and skills into this real estate business. So that's, as a team, we really had so much fun with this.
So 11 years. So just 2003 you got started, Lisa?
Yes, uh-huh.
So it's not like you inherited something like Donald Trump. You're building this from the ground up. So, some people might say, all right, so that's 2003. So you had 5 years of a great run-up, and then the great implosion. Mm-hmm. What makes you different? How did you survive that 2008 collapse? Because we're like at the epicenter of the collapse here in Riverside County, right here in Murrieta, Temecula. I mean, there was more fraud, I heard, than just about anywhere in the world, in the U.S.
Right, and actually some of it started right there off the west side of the 15. So there was a huge impact right there in Murrieta and Temecula both. I absolutely agree. But here's the thing for us is that we've never sat on like I said earlier, we've just never sat on our laurels. You always find a way. I'm going to talk about teenagers in school. They all complain, I don't have a job. You know what? Every one of them could probably find a job if they really, really wanted a job. So there's jobs to be had, in my opinion, if you want to make it. So in our mind, businesses, every agent should has a way to make business if they do it right. I've always been full-time, so I worked hard on the weekends. I worked hard on the weekdays. I worked hard to make sure I was involved with my kids in soccer and golf and in our family life. I made sure family came first and business came second, but there are some times when that shifts. But I feel like we had our priorities right going all along, but I worked really, really hard as an individual. And then when Goran joined, and we worked really, really hard as a team, and we built it even more. And then now, we're empty nesters. We're putting even more time into it. When some people are backing off and saying, "Oh my gosh, okay, I've been doing this for a while. It's time to let go." Well, we've actually taken the exact opposite. So during that rough time, when short sales were prevalent, we were doing some short sales, but we never left our main thrust of the business, which is standard sales and land and residential. Mm-hmm. So whether it was any kind of a standard sale, we still kept our feet firmly planted there. A lot of people left that business and just dove into short sales or just dove into foreclosures. Well, we had several banks, so we had REOs as well. We were agents for the REOs. But again, we never let our client base leave from the standard sales. So we kept those three parallel, short sales, standard sales, and REOs going down parallel platforms. And we just kept going, and we had teams set up to handle each. So we never left that business. And when like now, there's hardly any REOs. Now we've moved those teams into our standard sales because now we're just busting out at the seams in a fabulous positive way on the standard sales side. So, and the short sales are basically down to nothing. So you just adjust. And if you stay ahead of that curve and you anticipate and you plan for it, you can make it happen.
So when you got started in 2003, was it good timing? Did you have a good coach? Did you just worked harder than everybody else to build it? Because there were a lot of people that had their real estate license in that time, mm-hmm. and they were just killing it, and then they're gone. So were you just more committed to having this as a career? I mean, what makes you different?
Well, and I'm just going to I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to me. The very first week of joining, I was with a traditional brokerage then, and the very first week of joining it, and I swear to God, this is not, this wasn't coincidental, I don't think, but we were literally in line getting ready for our office meeting. We were in the kitchen getting in line. I just physically happened to be standing next to a water cooler. I know that's such a bad pun, but we literally was the woman. So one of those agents that comes up to me and a friend of mine, we were standing there. We were both brand new, just first week. She comes up to me and she found out, she called us a newbie, and so, they always call you newbies. And she says, "Hey, I just want you to know, I hope you have 6 months of income saved up because you won't sell anything for 6 months." And I looked at my friend beside me and I'm like, who? Oh my gosh, who does she think she's talking to? And so literally that was our very first week. 3 weeks later, her and I, because at the time, that very first time, I did it with a friend originally, and we had 4 in escrow the very first 3 weeks. So, and I wasn't out to prove the other person wrong. It's just that's not our mindset. Goran and I have never had that mindset that, oh, okay, you know what, I'll just kind of wait for it to come to me. It's not about that. I worked crazy hard. I worked open houses. I did floor, which is when you sit and you answer the phone calls of the advertisements. I went out and called on my sphere. I emailed to my sphere. I mailed I did everything you're supposed to do, and then I kicked it up a notch. Now, when him and I are together, again, same thing. Proactive approach on everything we do, and you don't sit back and wait.
Right. Very cool. And then, are you and Goran, are y'all the classic, opposites attract, so y'all can kind of cover each other's back, do the things the other doesn't like to do? You think that's helped you grow?
Yeah, I think we are quite opposites. Lisa's more like the right brain. I'm more like the left brain, analytical guy. So it's a good mix, I think. I mean, I enjoy all this. That's kind of my background, the technology. I have a master's degree in computer science. I enjoy technology, so I love all this internet exposure and basically fishing on the internet or doing a lot of marketing on the internet, and then measure everything and then build systems around it. So that's really what I enjoy doing.
Right. Well, would you recommend couples work together, or are y'all lucky in that regard that you get along and make it work?
I think actually I know lots of couples that work together and it works swimmingly. So for us it works, but we do very distinctly different things, and I think it works because of that. We don't overlap really. The only thing we really overlap on is that the fact that we go to appointments together, and we're able to offer both sides of a coin to a seller if they're getting ready to market their property or land. So for us, it works because he definitely does the marketing. I definitely do the negotiation and the logistics side of it. So we're very clearly defined roles in the organization. I manage the organization. He is the broker's license for the company as all the agents, right. But I manage all those agents. So we both have very distinct roles. So it works for us.
Cool. So, look from the outside looking in, so y'all are about to be named in the top 200 by the Wall Street Journal, but you are still not completely on your own. And I don't even completely understand it because you're under Allison James, right? Mm-hmm. But that's like another entity, I guess, but you do your business under them rather than completely on your own?
Yeah, and again, it's great for clarity. When we left the company we were with before, we were going to go out on our own. It was just going to be the Forss Realty Group. But we decided at the moment, E&O is extremely overwhelming for most agents, and at the time we just thought, we'd have to build a whole system behind it to build our agent database. So we just joined a virtual company called Allison James Estates and Homes, and this company really, it's all about going green for us, and we always have been about reducing paperwork and being more efficient in the office. And this company already had that platform. So we decided rather than use the brokerage license and get our own, that kind of thing, we decided to join forces with this company and just do our own little thing inside this company. Well, literally we weren't here a month or 2 months, and they found out the kind of marketing we do. They found out the kind of stuff that we do and how passionate we are about what we do. That they called and said, hey, would you be our California broker? And we were like, oh, gosh, no, we won't. Because we want to run our business. We don't want to manage. That's our job. Our goal is not to manage agents. Our goal is to run a successful real estate business and help people fulfill their dreams, whether it's to buy or sell, get rid of, build a portfolio, whatever that is. So our goal was to do that, not to manage agents. Well, anyway, at the end of this month of negotiations, we finally acquiesced and said, yes, okay, we'll do 2 counties. They tried to get us to do 4. No, we'll do 2. So we ended up doing kind of 1.5. So that's really what we do. We manage the agents for all of Riverside and North San Diego County. That is what we do with Allison James Estates and Homes. But our separate entity, which has come to Temecula.com, which is our little Forss group, our Team Forss or Forss Realty Group, mm-hmm. that is all of our advertising and everything. We keep them very separate on purpose. We manage an agent group. We keep them in compliance to make sure all their licenses stay active and everybody does safely. And then our own personal group, we grow in a whole different way.
Right.
And that's the team that Wall Street and all that will
that's right.
rank on.
We actually don't know where we land in that yet. They haven't. Right. We've just been announced that we're in it. We find out June 27th exactly where we fall in that category.
Hey, I still have some friends in the military. We could hack some databases, and I could find out early if you'd like.
That's right. You got connections.
I know people.
Hook a girl up.
The problem is, though, if I told you, I'd have to kill you. It wouldn't do any good. So we kind of negate the purpose of finding out early.
That's right. Okay, we'll wait. We'll be patient.
Well, so it's cool the way y'all do that because a lot of people, I always see people that they grow too fast or they want their name on something, right? It's almost like they're not successful until they see their name somewhere. Mm-hmm. But you were smart enough and humble enough and focused enough, right? Said, look, we'll leverage this Allison James. Doesn't have to be all about us because that company helped you reach your goals,
right?
Rather than boosting up your own ego. And because I got to say, 173 million, whatever y'all are going to do this year, you're going to beat 150, Goran. You watch. Especially when this podcast goes live, you'll probably be like 200 million like that week. It'll be,
yes.
And I expect my Home Depot welcome gift card. All right.
Yep. You got it.
And I want it delivered in a new 4x4 diesel truck.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Wrapped with thesaleswhisperistheman.com. But I have to buy that domain name first, so hold on.
Well, okay, we'll wait.
So it's fantastic because, I've known you now almost 8 years.
Gosh,
and despite your fancy cars and all, y'all are still the same people I've always known. You've helped us with our homes, our family. We've referred you out. And I can vouch for you. Y'all work hard.
Well, thank you so much. There's no one. It's people like you guys that really do make us what we are. So it's not even, I wish we could take all that credit, but it's our clients really that make it for us. And that's why we wanted to stay in it, because of this. We wanted to keep our connection with our community and that, that aspect.
So where do you go from here? I mean, when you hit 150 million, 200 million, I mean, do you have to expand into other counties? I mean, where do you go 5 years from now?
I still a small market share. There are several thousand realtors just in our hometown, and we just checked the market share with last year with 83 million. We still only had 4.2% market share. I mean, it's a big market share for one realtor team, but there's still a lot of growth. But then we can, of course, expand it north, west, east, south. I mean, so we
actually already are expanding into other counties, but right now we're focusing. Our main focus is Riverside County.
Yeah, we're focusing on Temecula Valley around here, Fallbrook. But there's a lot of opportunities, and we also do some business in San Diego County, possibly also Orange County. So we can easily expand up to that. But we want to just make sure we put together a very solid team and business here before we do anything. We just want to be truly successful in one market before we start rolling it out somewhere else.
Right.
So what's your approach on goal setting? Because I'm always torn on this, and there's always a million books written on this. And I had one guy on not too long ago, DJ Paris, and he said something to the effect of like, direction is more important than destination. Meaning just get on the right path, get going. But do y'all sit down and say, do you have an annual plan, or do you have a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan? Or is it like, hey, let's double what we did last year and do January 1st next year, we'll set new goals.
Do you want to address that?
Yeah. So, I mean, we are a firm believer in the journey is the best part. So it's, for us, it's all about, getting there and having fun while you're doing it and reaching those goals. But yes, we have a business plan. We set our goals. We set our 5 and 10 year. The 5 and 10 aren't hard firm more than our year goal is, because our year goal, we sit down with each one of our, we have a buyer's agent team, like I said, and an internal, our concierge team, and then our listing leaders, lead team. And we sit down with each one of them at the beginning of the year, and we help them set goals. And then when they set their goals, then we in turn set our company goals, our come to Temecula.com goals. So it's kind of a couple tiered. We first sit down with the agents and let them set their goals first and help them push the envelope on their goals. And then we set our goals based on their highest level. And then we might even, kick it up a notch from there. But bottom line is yes, we do have a year goal, 5 and a 10. But the 5 and 10 are more like soft goals. Our years are very firm goals, and all year long we're working towards those goals. Every month we discuss them in our office meetings. We have meetings every week, but every month, sometimes more than once, we actually discuss their goals. Where are we in relation to the goals for each person? We have visual goals in our office. So, for example, each one of our agents has a jar that they've decorated themselves. We did the whole Secret, watched the movie The Secret, did the whole dream board thing, and then we have a whole huge vase of poker chips on the middle of our conference room table. And so when we have a meeting and someone is one step closer to their goal, they get to take one poker chip and put it in their glass. And it's a long, narrow cylinder, so you can actually watch the poker chips stack up. So they constantly see their goals. They don't only have them in writing and on, we're very internet driven, so they don't only have that on Google Docs and everything, but they literally can now see them as they walk in the office. Even when their clients walk in the office, they can see where everyone is actually on their individual goals.
Right.
It becomes a little competition here, so everybody again can see exactly what the other person is doing. So that's a little extra motivation.
And it's a way of life. We want it to be second. We want that goal to be now a journey. We want the whole thing is it's about getting there and having fun doing it while you're on your way.
Right.
So.
Well, and when I'm playing poker, it brings a tear to my eye when I have an empty glass. So you bet my glass would be full.
I guarantee your glass would be full. I know you. All
the time. Yeah, I remember 1998, I was selling mobile homes in Mobile, Alabama.
No way.
And, oh, yeah. And that's the first year I made $100,000. I always tell the story. Shannon and I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment paying $365 a month in rent.
Wow.
Mobile, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
$100,000. Yeah, baby. I had me 3 sets of bib overalls. I ain't lying.
Extra straws hanging around, not straw, but like the hay to hang around just so you could hang it up.
I ain't lying. I had me a straw hat and a felt hat. Mm-hmm. But I remember our sales manager, Sam Payton, we're still friends to this day. He would, when they had bonuses within the company, or even when he would kick out little bonuses, he paid in cash, right? We would have a little weekly meeting, and at most there were like 6 of us working there in sales at this one location, and he would bust out $100 bills, and he would count them out on the table. And I tell you, nothing makes an impression, especially a young sales guy's mind, seeing that cash. It's tangible, it's real. You're like, okay, that's what I'm working for.
How funny. Every single one of our sales meetings, we have another little goal-oriented thing we're doing on the side that we offer cash for. And when we show it up on the screen on certain things that people do online for our online presence. And so, and when they reach those goals, we give out cash in our office meetings. And so we call it lunch loot. And so it's kind of a fun thing too, right? We roll a dice, a great big foam dice, and we roll it. And they get to earn, cash each week. So it's another fun thing.
But our tax guy, we did our corporate taxes yesterday. He didn't really like that. You shouldn't be giving out cash. You have to.
Well, now that I own my own business, I need somebody to pay me cash so I can have some funny money, because Shannon does all the finances. I don't have any funny money anymore. That just ain't right.
I've never seen anybody handle finances as beautifully as she does.
She runs it. Heck,
she can make a $100 bill out of a $1 bill. I just don't know how she does it.
Well, she's the only one I know that can take a family that have ate out to dinner for like $3.
I know. She showed me proof on receipts before.
I know. We took a picture, and we were full.
I saw 16 of you going to In-N-Out yesterday.
Yeah, 15 of us.
15.
We had some friends in town. They only had 5 of their kids. They have 7, but 2 are older. So we wiped that place out.
And In-N-Out is not a cheap place to visit, that's for sure.
Oh, my gosh. So how do you handle underperforming people? The high flyers are easy. They're kind of self-motivated. I mean, when do you know when to let somebody go versus realign, or change up how you help them get motivated?
We track everybody's progress, and we try to coach them. And we made some mistakes previously, hiring relatives, friends, and all that, and it's a little bit difficult when you need to release them. But now, what we are doing now, we're getting better in our business and in our hiring and everything day after day. And what we do now, we try to fire them fast or release them fast, but we hire very slowly. And what we do is that it's not just Lisa and I that's interviewing. We are interviewing as a team. There's a certain culture to be part of this team, and they have to fit in. So, for example, most recently I really wanted to hire this agent. He was hungry, starving, and super motivated, and he had pretty good skills. But the other people on the team interviewed him. They didn't think he was fitting with the team, so we decided not to hire him. Mm-hmm. So it has to be the right culture, kind of right person.
Do you utilize those new hire assessments like the DISC or Myers-Briggs, things like that? Yes,
we put everybody on the DISC profile.
Okay, and that's been accurate for you?
Yeah, you know what, it has to some extent. But like, for example, we have, typically in sales you want a high D or a high I, somewhere in there. And it's interesting because our 2, I don't even know how this works out. Because we actually didn't do the DISC profile until they were already part of our team and we were already rocking and rolling. But 2 of their husband and wife team is a part of our team, and they are both SCs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they are probably on our top 4%, top 4 of our sales team of 11, 12 people. They're always in our top 4. Mm-hmm. And that is so not what you would normally think to bring in.
Right.
But they're very relationship driven.
Right.
So for them, it's worked beautifully. He's actually an attorney that's retiring and joining her because she's making money, and enjoying what she's doing and having the freedom to do what she wants to do. So he's actually retiring from law after 25 years and joining her. And so because he's so methodical and very, very detail oriented, those 2, even though they're both SCs, have been a great asset to each other and to our team. So they're not somebody I'd bring in off of, if I would have looked at their DISC profile, we would have went,
Are you sure he's not like handcuffing them to the table and just put them on food and water till they sign?
I will. Yeah, he's going to give them a few little affidavits here to sign before they
pull out a taser. You press real hard. Third copy's yours.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Well, my very first sales training client was an architect that was going out on his own. And, he's like, I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to market. I don't know how to network. But I always tell people, selling and marketing, it really much is a system. It's a process you can follow, just like anything else. And if you do the right steps, say the right things, the sales will come. So, I'm not surprised that they do well.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Because the hardest thing, I think, is you get these high I's and strong D's, like me, all right, just floating around, shooting from the hip, bull in the china shop. And then we have to learn a process, right? Because really, that's when our sales really grow. That's when yours really grew, right? When you really mastered a process. So it's not enough to be likable. It's only going to get you a small percentage of sales, maybe a quarter of the population will you naturally bond with.
Right. And, some of that has to do with the fact that we actually hire some of the best coaches in the country, actually, not just for ourselves personally, which we have one as well, but we have a completely different one for our buyers team because it's a completely different skill set.
Sure.
So even though they may not have the sales, like you're talking about just now, is that we provide the processes, we implemented the systems, and now we have a coach that literally meets with them online as a group and encourages them, pushes them, helps them set their goals, helps them find, get around the obstacles that they have and objections they have, do role playing with them. And so that helps them better function in this sales world. As long as all the resources are there, they can rely on their relationship building because we've already set everything else in place for them.
Right.
So that's kind of the way we look at it. We're constantly changing. We're constantly this group. We really truly believe is an elite coach team. Not only just by what we do and our life experiences with the business, but hiring the best to teach the best. So it just makes the whole system work.
And I think going back to the culture, it's a little bit, we're almost like a family. We hang out afterwards too. We go roller skating together. We do different kind of things as a team. We go on cruises together. We go bowling and a bunch of other things. So it's like and just last weekend we went golfing in a big tournament here. More of a fun tournament, but still, it's a lot of socializing with the team.
Right. So what we'll do is it was a charity event, and we entered the charity event as a come to Temecula.com, and then we put up a foursome. And so oddly enough, one of our salesperson was one stroke off the PGA. So he is a professional golfer by trade. That's what he was doing before he joined our team. And then a couple of the other guys are good golfers too. So it kind of helps. And then Goran pretends that he can golf. So but we put these groups together for the charity events, and it works good for everything. But more than anything, like I said, the journey. We truly do have a lot of fun together. We work really hard together. We have crazy high accountability factors and high expectations of everybody on our team. We have people that want to be on the team, but the problem is that we have such high expectations. If we don't think they'll fit, we don't even present it to the team, let alone get to the team and have to go to that interview process. But we don't bring anyone on very lightly. It's actually kind of hard to get on our team. However, once you're there, we work really hard to make you, we think, spectacular in whatever niche you're actually going after. So it's been it is a really fun thing. And we love our team like family. They truly have become our family. And they over and over again say how they feel the same way. So the culture is super important to us, and that's really what has driven us from the beginning,
right.
Was building a team that we want to be around because we're around them all the time. So we want to be around these people as much as we need to be around them. We want to be around them.
Right. Well, I don't know if you have good judgment or bad judgment, but you've burned all 100 of the resumes I've sent you in the last 10 years. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to change my name, see if I can get one by you.
You too. You're just too good for this team.
I don't know. You're just saying that to butter me up, just so I won't cry on the interview.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Are you ever afraid of people leaving you? You invest so much in them. I know a lot of companies are afraid of that. I'm going to train my competition.
No, I think we of course try to take care of the people and all that, and But I think we have built up a system. So even if we lose somebody, if we lose somebody, we can quickly recover, I think. I mean, but of course, some of them are top performers, some of them are not as top performers. But I think the main thing we have done here, set up a system that can almost work by itself.
And keep in mind that Goran and I know the systems. Mainly Goran, actually, on the internet side. That's all his kind of baby. But we're the ones who have this. So we don't really share. I mean, it's just not necessary for them to see how we do everything.
Right.
They just want to see the resources, the resolve of whatever we've invested in.
Here's the difference, real quick. If you're in a typical realtor, 99% of them they are a solo realtor. They do everything themselves. They go show property, they list the property, they handle escrow, they answer the phone, voicemail. It's overwhelming. But like Lisa explained earlier, we have a team approach. So our buyer specialists, they don't have to do all this prospecting, marketing in a magazine or listings, lockboxes, sign. They don't have to do any of that. Our concierge team, they set up appointments for pre-approved buyers. They come to the office. So what buyer specialists do here on our team, they take those buyers and find them a home. And then when they've done that, they go to the next one, go to the next one. So it's a completely different thing. So even we haven't really lost anybody from our personal team. We have let some people go, but we haven't really lost one. But if they realize the experienced one, they are saying, we will never leave this, because if we go out on our own, now we have to spend the marketing dollars. Now we have to prospect, do the ads, do the listings. We have to answer the phone calls, voicemail. I mean, so I think we've set up I think this is really the future of real estate, that this team approach. It's worked really, really well for us.
Right. How do you balance getting new input from the team, right? So you get good people, you coach them well, they're going to have ideas. How do you balance the input of new ideas versus, hey, just stick with the system?
Well, one of the big things is when we always are in a meeting, we always talk about the good, bad, and the ugly, and some of those are new ideas. So if someone brings a new idea, we always analyze it and see, is this going to fit? And if it works, then we will incorporate it in some form or fashion. We're not steadfast on our systems being the right ones because, in my opinion, it's a moving target on a constant basis. You have to be able to juggle and you have to be able to roll with the market. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that if you put everything in place and say, okay, we're firm and hard and this is the way we're going to do with it. So we've always been open to new ideas, new suggestions, new systems, new ways to do things, because there's almost always a better way to do something. None of us are going to create well, okay, maybe some of us. You might create an amazing system and it might be the one that everyone's after. We look at it like it's a constant moving target, and that we're always up for making things better. So we're always open to it.
And you think that's the key to your growth? Is not having that big ego, like it's my way or the highway?
No, we another thing, I don't know if you mentioned this, but we are networking with the top agents around the country. So we always we are in a part of a group that nobody's in the same market. So we're not competing with each other. So we are sharing freely exactly what is working, best practices, and then we compare notes. All these other agents, I think that's one of the key reasons why we have grown so much, because we've learned so much from people that are the best in the industry.
Right.
That's been fantastic, and we are really good, Lisa and I, in certain things, and we have shared that on the board, and they really love it. And for example, this weekend, we have a mastermind conference in our conference room for 2 days with some of the best agents in the country. They're coming in here for 2 days to work with us, and they're going to learn from us, we're going to learn from them. And that way we get even better and better and better.
Right.
The wine bus leaves at 3.
Woo! I will be there at 2:55. You should not have mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm telling you, we work hard, play hard.
All right. Very nice. So do you think growing a real estate business is different than any other business?
Oh, I would say absolutely not. I think every business is you got to find out the system that works. I think that they're all very similar. Every real estate agent, runs their business completely different. We're running ours as a real estate office, but the next real estate company is not running theirs anything like ours, and it's still successful. Right. I just think that it's not. I don't think this systems and processes are I don't know, stuck to one business. I think it can be that platform can be put into any business and be successful, just adjusted.
How do you see social media playing in all of this?
Well, actually, social media is a big part of what we do. And it started out, our son is up at Pepperdine, and he's the one who really brought this to the forefront for us. Because a couple years ago, like 3 years ago, maybe it's actually when he was a freshman in college, he actually started his own little business on the side. And we didn't really know what he was doing, quite honestly. But he was helping people, and he is not an IT person. He's just learned himself how to do things. And so he was literally helping people run their own business, learning how to market themselves online on the social media platform. No others, just help you market yourself. I want to help you market yourself. I'm a young teen or an older teen, young adult, and I want to be able to help you market. So people were helping him, paying him, and he was going in and getting these people business just based on stuff he was doing online on their social media. So a couple years into it, Alex was part of the golf team. NCAA found out, saw all the stuff he was doing online. I don't know how. First, Pepperdine offers him a job in the media group. Literally a week later, the NCAA calls and gives him a cease and desist and says, you will no longer run this business unless it's a corporation. He was making such waves in what he was doing just on the social media side of these small businesses and making them money that he got reprimanded for it. So he had to pull off and stop. Well, now he went to work for eBay 2 summers in a row. Now he's got this amazing job that when he graduates here in a few weeks. But all of that started because of social media. And back at that beginning when he was helping all those little companies, we were like, look, what are we, chopped liver? Help us too. So he started pushing us out there on social media, and he absolutely made a difference for us. He set us up on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these other different platforms that he was pushing for us that really made a difference and opened our eyes to it. So when we go to these big conferences with the top 100 agents in the nation, we go to it every year out in Charleston, and they all meet. And here, we were doing 2 years ago what they're just now doing, and doing it in a whole different method, a different way, I'll have you. But it started with Alex. I mean, he really opened our eyes to the whole social media thing. So yes, we really work hard on the social media, but he's the one who opened our eyes to it and got us, doing it.
Can you give me an example? Like, is it YouTube or what are you doing?
Yeah. Okay. So YouTube's a new one for us. We're just starting the YouTube channel. So even though he started that for us originally, we really didn't enhance it because our goal was, we had so many other, irons in the fire. We just couldn't really work on that. He worked on the Facebook. He got us a Facebook page. He got us likes. He started working on getting all of it, building up our Facebook page to such that we're getting instant messages, people saying, hey, I'd like you to come over and look at our house. All of a sudden we're getting business from Facebook, and we're like, what? How's that happening? So, and it works. It totally works. And I'm sure it works in a whole nother, like a whole nother level if someone does it even more. And that's actually what we're doing now, is we're kind of working into all those other in a more detail-oriented level, whereas he kind of just did it superficially for us, and it was working. Our goal is imagine what it's going to look like once we really dive in deep on these different platforms and different social medias. And
I can see that on the back end of our system that we're using, where the traffic is coming from and all that. So, no, it's definitely a growing and a very important part of the business, the social media.
Is direct mail and print, magazines and door flyers, farming an area like they always teach, is that still working?
This is funny you add. Every piece that you just mentioned, we do nothing of that at the moment. Nothing. No print media, no door hangers, no postcards marketing ourselves. We're pretty much mostly on internet. That's where we bring in and previous clients, internet, and very much. And then we also do some radio commercials. That were all. But all this print advertising, we haven't really done any of that in the last couple of years.
Very cool. And what kind of radio? Just local radio? I mean, satellite radio? What do you?
K-Frog, Smooth 94.5, Smooth Jazz. We were doing classic rock, but it wasn't working for us. So the other parts of the radio, K-Frog and Smooth Jazz.
Mm-hmm. And just old school radio ads, driving them to your website.
Old school, and we have the talent do the ad for us. And so, matter of fact, one of them actually so badly, or just happened to be in the market for eventually a home here. So he started He put it on hold temporarily right at the moment, but it started out where we were showing him property and stuff because he wanted to actually go through the process of buying a home.
Right.
But some things with him personally happened that he has to put buying a home on the back burner. But the point is that his goal is to, when he does this, is to do it all on air.
Gotcha.
Well, for the excerpt of special parts of it.
Have you tried television advertising?
Not yet. We keep being asked to do that, but it's hard enough to do the radio.
Right. Very nice. So, last couple of questions. Where can people find you? You said it's come and the number 2, come to Temecula.com.
Yeah, so it's COME, the number 2, and then Temecula.com.
Okay.
You can also find us at guaranteed sold.
No, guaranteedsale.com.
Thank you. Yeah.
Guaranteedsale.com.
I don't know what it is. I don't ever dial it in,
You don't visit your own website, Lisa? You leave it to Goran.
He does. That's him. He is all Goran. It's all him.
I mean, we offer we offer a couple of unique things that nobody else really offers here in the Valley. We offer a guaranteed sale program. If we can't sell it, we actually step in and buy the home ourselves.
Uh-huh.
There are some restrictions to it, but we disclose all of that and agree on a price and deadline with the seller. And we bought like 5 or 7 homes or something for cash last year, 2013. Another thing we offer that is unique is that we offer a 2-year love it or leave it guarantee. So if you buy a home through our team, if you're not completely happy for whatever reason, we'll sell it at no listing commission. And we also offer that to our sellers, which brings more demand for their homes.
Wow.
So those are a couple of things we offer. And the other thing we offer an easy exit agreement. So you can the seller can cancel the agreement at any time for any reason. We have one example just today. It's another real estate company, and the seller is not happy with the performance of the agent and the marketing, so they wanted to cancel it. But the company refuses to cancel the contract, and so the seller has to wait until the contract has expired, and then we will take over the listing.
Right.
And most people say, these are just the 2-year love it or leave it, or the guaranteed sale program is just they're just gimmicks. But we actually have bought 5 homes in the last 12 months, 6 homes in the last 12 months, and we're doing where someone's only lived in their house for 10 months, and we're selling their house right now. We're listing it. We listed it for free. We're already in escrow. We're due to close in a week. There's no listing commission. Mm-hmm. So we do honor. They're not gimmicks. They truly are what we do. And
we have it in writing too. Mm-hmm. So it's
right. Well, and that gets into just really smart marketing. I mean, we've had to do it forever. Mm-hmm. And like in my offering, there's always, some type of 30-day money-back guarantee or 1 year, double your money guarantee, different things. We call it a risk reversal, right? You make it so brain dead simple and obvious to do business with you that you just become the only choice. But, it's kind of a, not really catch-22, but the better you get, the more confident you get, the better the guarantee you can provide, which makes you even better and it just kind of feeds on itself.
That's such a great, yes, that's absolutely.
Yep.
Very cool. So what was it? I missed it. Is guaranteed sold or
guaranteedsale.com? Guaranteedsale.com.
All right, I'll have this listed on the website. And so, what are some your final words of wisdom for our listeners? Maybe they're in real estate, maybe just a business owner, or just a struggling salesperson who wants to get to the next level. What would you tell them?
I think our biggest thing is that be persistent. Put systems and processes in place and stick to them. Give them time to work. Sometimes you put them in place and then 30 days later you're like, okay, it hasn't worked, so I'm done. Well, that's just not enough time for most systems to actually kick in and really see an ROI on them.
Right.
So I would say be persistent, put systems in place and leave them there for a while and keep measuring. Probably the key is to measure everything you're doing.
Right.
To see if that system works or not. So for us, it's probably be persistent, measure what you're doing.
Another comment is don't do 100 things.
Right.
Do 3 things and do them really, really well. Or if you can't do 3, do 2 things. That's what we do. We focus on a few things and do them really, really well. And that's what's propelled our business.
Right. Very nice. Well, thank you for taking the time. You choked down that lunch and you made time for me, and I appreciate it.
And we can't wait for you to start speaking to our agents about the things that you do, Wes, because quite honestly, we're impressed by what you do too.
Hey, tell me when. I'll be there.
Absolutely.
And any day except April 16th. My wife, she has this doctor's appointment, and I don't know, something about a kid.
Did she just move that? You've already got 6.
I got to be there. Fortunately, it's in the morning, so, we can make it in the afternoon. Yeah, I could do that.
This is old hat now.
Piece of cake.
Yes.
I'll be watching, cutting the cord. I actually can't cut the cord on this one. It's a C-section, but oh well. Maybe I can still reach in and cut the cord. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Wes.
Thanks.
We appreciate it.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
There you have it. Use great systems, hire great coaches, measure everything you do. You do that, and you can be the top in your field as well. It really is that simple. I've been watching a show called The Profit, Profit, on CNBC. This guy, Marcus Lemonis, it's kind of like Shark Tank, but he shows up, puts in his own money, and rolls up his sleeves and gets to work on improving businesses that are failing. And he always looks at the people, the products, and the processes. If those 3 are right, then businesses will succeed. And, as you've seen with Lisa and Goran, they're doing all of those right as well. Notice how they break things up. They've got their 3-team concept, listing, buying, and their concierge. You could do something very similar in your business, regardless of what it is. Have people that specialize. I have developers. I have coders. I have strategists. I have people that do nothing but train on Infusionsoft Kickstart. So by segmenting like that and having people become specialists in those separate areas, it's enabled us to grow as well. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, if you need to grow, please check out 30-Day Sales Growth, and you will grow your sales as well. And once again, as always, it is so hard getting people to leave a comment. I don't know, maybe I should bribe you. But please go to iTunes, visit thesalespodcast.com. It'll redirect you to the iTunes listing and click on reviews. And please leave a 5-star review. Those help the podcast get seen, and so others can share it and participate and grow from you taking about 2 minutes to leave a review. So I would appreciate it. As always, remember to sell different. Thanks for listening.